Give me a thumbs up. Oh, yeah. Good evening. I'd like to call to order of the Solano Community College District Governing Board meeting of September 17th, 2025. Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Cargo Reed,
Present.
Trustee Kara, Trustee Wingreer,
Here.
Trustee Thurston, Trustee Young, Trustee Boyce,
Here.
President Honeychurch, Student Trustee Rodriguez.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I second.
Thank you. It was moved by Trustee Rosemary and seconded by Trustee Jackie to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? All in favor, opposed, abstain, the motion is passed.
Wait, we gotta say
Oh,
it.
sorry. Okay, go
All in favor?
Okay.
Pause.
All right. Aye.
All right, there we go.
All right, the
Aye.
motion is passed. Thank you. All right. Are there any comments from the public? All right. Well, there are no comments from the members of the public. We're going to move on to closed session items. We will recess for closed session and we'll return at 7 p.m. Thank you. Okay, we will reconvene the regular meeting. There was no action taken in closed section. Actually, I should have said we are now reconvening at 7:06 p.m. And yes, there was no action taken in closed session. So are there any comments from the public? No? Okay, so reports not required. Associated Students of Solano College, ASSC, Angelica. Hi, how are you?
Hello, Governing Board. My name is Angelica, and I'm the Vice President for the Associate Students of Solano Community College, and I'm here to report on behalf of my student body. One of the first events that I want to talk about is Club Carmo, which was rebranded into the Falcon Fest Club Edition to have more of an... Oh, I'm so sorry. One of our most recent events was hosted by the Interclub Council and ASSC, and which it was Club Promo, and it was rebranded to Falcon Fest Club Edition to have a more engaging name for the students. It brought over 192 students, and over 55 club members and faculty were present as well. There was a total of 19 clubs tabling and 3 up-and-coming new clubs, which is very exciting because they were able to recruit new members as well. And moving forward, we currently are more driven to have attention towards the clubs, as we know they're one of the strongest route for engagement here on campus. So that is why we decided as a board to start the club funding process earlier than last year. And there will be club funding presentations this Friday in the upcoming ASSC meeting located in the Fishbowl Room in room 1421 in building 1400 from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. We as ASSC have also decided to raise the club seed money from $150 to $400 so it can help the club activities on campus be more engaging and have more student engagement, because there are a lot of driven student leaders in the Interclub Council as well as ASSC hoping to have more engagement here on campus. One of the events we hosted was in conjunction with Student Development and Engagement, the office, and it was Bienvenida, and it was on September 15th, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. by the clock tower in the 1400 building, and we were able to have about 300 students and faculty present, and we were giving out burritos and letting students paint skulls. And there was also a poster made by PTK for students and faculty to sign. Another event hosted by ASSC was National Voters Registration Day, where we helped students register to vote and educate them on their rights as voters. And that was on September 16th, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Fishbowl Room. And then another event that we just had recently was with Student Development in their office, which was Constitution Day, and that was from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, moving forward with my report. Another initiative that ASSC is working on is the renovations for the 1400 building. For example, the couches near the bookstore have peeling fabric, and ASSC and our advisors are working diligently to get them replaced, and we're aiming for quality. We're aware that it's one of the most central places students hang out and study, so we want to make sure they have proper environments. Currently, we have 3 ASSC members sitting in committees, which are the Student Equity Success Council and the College Governance here on campus. The intention is to make sure there is enough student voices being heard. And we are currently recruiting new members, and we hope to find more student leaders present on committees. We're working really tirelessly to recruit new members to the Senate as well as the Executive Board. So that means the next ASSC reports for the Governing Board will likely have a new student leader here to report, which is very, very exciting. And that concludes my report. And most of all, we'd love to see you, the trustees, present for our upcoming meeting this Friday from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. in the Fishbowl Room. We have them regularly on the same time and location every week on Fridays. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Excuse me. VP Angelica? Yes, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your report, and thank you for inviting the trustees to attend your meeting this coming Friday. Did you mention it was in the Fishbowl from 12:30 to 2 o'clock, correct?
Yeah,
And we're
that's
invited. Okay, fantastic. I would definitely love to attend this coming Friday. I think that's fabulous, and thank you so much. A couple things I wanted to commend you on is in regards to Constitutional Day. thank you so much in regards to recognizing that today is actually Constitution Day. And I was going to make a comment towards the end of the meeting, so I'm so glad to hear that. And also the fact that the students were involved in terms of voter registration on September 16th. It is extremely important in regards to part of our democracy. So thank you so much for that amazing report that you gave to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Trustee Garrett. Yes.
Thank you. A couple of questions or clarifications, please. You know how you said that you raised the contribution from $150 to $400? Do you remember that? Yeah? Okay, good. I didn't get it wrong, right? It was from 150 went up to 400. Can I ask you where the money came from and how much? Do you have a rough idea of how much in total that was?
Yeah, so it came from the ASSC funding that we received from you guys, the governing board. So throughout the past years, the clubs have received a club seed money for 150 per each club. As vice president, I wanted to increase that so they had more opportunities to plan events, and so they don't have to constantly request for more funding above 150. So that was an initiative I took from it. And then I'm planning to put, well, ASSC is planning to put more funding towards the club so they have more like opportunities and things.
And have you noticed that it, it got a lot more traction or people were pleased, the club members?
Yeah, they're really happy. There's like a lot of clubs that want to do a lot of like events and things. They have like a lot of opportunities they want to do. It's just we know that funding and engagement is like one of like the things they struggle on. So I wanted to make sure that they had like enough money to fund their events.
The other thing is you're talking about how 3 ASSC members are on committees. I was wondering, that surprised me that it was as small as only 3. Can you tell me if there's an issue with a reason not having enough members that are interested in participating, or is it just administrative disinterest? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how can we get, because I think the more students that are on committees, the better we do.
So currently, a lot of previous ASSC members from last academic year have graduated. So there was a total of like, I think 4 ASSC members returning, and the Senate, the most members we can have are about like 20. And so we're trying diligently to recruit, and we're having more members like sworn in this Friday as well. So it's going to be a very eventful meeting this Friday, a lot of things going on, but most of like the lack of student government presence on committees is due to the fact that we don't have much members yet, but it's the beginning of the year, and we did receive like a lot of like students interested in recruitment in Falcon Fest, so we're just waiting on the reply.
And one last thing, do you feel like we as an administration and as the college are giving you all the support that you guys need in terms of, say, access to our internet website, being able to get access to the students, that type of thing? Or please, if there's anything else that you guys think would make your job better and our job better, I'd really love to be able to. I know everybody is interested in helping out, including our president, who's a darling. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, am I? But.
So to answer your question, one of the things that like a lot of student leaders and I really appreciate is the faculty and administration, like the ones who reply and show up for like our events and things. We really do appreciate it. As student leaders, it's like our first time gaining experience, so we do appreciate it when the trustees, Dr. Butler or any VP is present in our events or like interested in our club meetings and things. There's like a lot of talented students in BSU, Pomona, the Phil Am Club, and then also Drama Club. There's just a bunch of like hidden leaders that you guys should check out, and it's like, I think it helps a lot when there's like a connection between like administration and students as well. But as student government, we'll make sure to ask the clubs for their personal input on how they feel about you guys as an administration, and we'll try to report back on you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Anne Marie.
On this campus, so you have meetings. Do you do the meetings by Zoom so they can participate and not have to come up here?
Yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. It's something we're still exploring as like student government. One of the things I remember last meeting, ASC was present, we were reporting on how we're revamping the Constitution to make sure the satellite campuses count as attendance, because we do know like transportation is difficult to go from like Vallejo back and to Fairfield. So We are working tirelessly to like figure out how to like bridge all the satellite campuses together. One of the clubs, there's two clubs I know that are active on Vacaville specifically, and that's the Blue Jean Algae Club and the Writer Society. So there are a few engagements from there. The Pomona Club does volunteer work in Vallejo, and then one of our advisors is Brandon, and he's I think he's one of the managers or supervisors there on Vallejo. So it's slowly working, but we are trying to work as like student leaders to figure out how to like bridge all those locations together.
So when you have your fundraisers and what have you, what I would suggest you do, if there was an article in the paper, you'd be surprised at how many people are in the communities who came to Solano College. You might, they write the money to the checks to the foundation and earmark it for the student causes, the fundraiser that you're having. And you can draw a lot of money from that setup.
Okay.
So I would suggest you consider that.
I appreciate
Okay.
that.
You don't have anything to lose, right?
Mhm.
A lot to gain.
Yeah, we're trying to explore fundraising too as a
Okay.
club.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, any other questions from the board?
I just want to thank you, Trustee Young, for asking that question about how do we engage the students from the Vacaville and the Vallejo campuses. That's a really good question. It didn't dawn on me on that because, we're center-based here in Fairfield, but thank you for asking. If there's anything that I can help you with in regards to the Vacaville location, please let me know. If there's an opportunity, perhaps of a tabling out of the Vacaville campus or an opportunity for me to visit, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I also want to take a minute and recognize Dr. Ballesteros, new Director of Student Development and Engagement. And I apologize if I said the name incorrectly, but thank you for being here. All right, Academic Senate, Joshua Scott.
Good evening. So we've had, I think, a pretty eventful beginning to the semester in the Senate, and I think campus-wide, it feels like. In our last Senate meeting, now, so we've met a couple times, and in our last Senate meeting last week, probably the primary item that we were discussing was accreditation. Isabel Anderson is kind of our chief kind of key writer for this, and so she came in, and we were talking a lot, specifically looking at now that over the last two semesters, the number of faculty submitting student learning outcome assessments has really increased. And so now we're really talking about how do we make sure we're really meeting the larger goal of linking assessment to planning, to budget, right? These are a lot of the things that come out of that accreditation report that we'll be looping back to quite soon. So, making sure we're documenting things well and that we're really developing clear processes that are easy to see from the outside as well as internally. In our next upcoming Senate meeting, actually, Heather, she's gone, Heather Watson-Perez and Lisa, right? I think both of you, right? Will be here, and we'll be having a chance to really get into the Student Equity and Achievement Plan. You might be hearing more about that soon, I'm not sure. But we're coming up on this next 3-year cycle with this, and there's been a lot of really good work done by the whole community. I'm really grateful for the leadership of the student service offices on both Heather and Lisa's part. And looking forward to doing some more of that. So we'll be talking about that extensively at our next meeting. The other item we've been really preparing for is hiring, full-time faculty hiring. You may have heard that we're already hearing and expecting more retirements this year. And that means we need to do quite a bit more hiring as well. And so we're really trying to make sure our board policy is set up in such a way that the Academic Senate, along with the academic deans, are the ones who are really looking at the applications that various departments are putting forward and ranking those. And it's a difficult conversation, right? Because whenever you're putting somebody relatively high on the list, you're putting someone else a little bit lower. So there's something where we want to make sure we're doing a very good job with this and that we're really honoring the needs of our students. We're talking, so we'll be meeting on our first meeting on October 6th. Where we'll be looking at the data, looking at our mission, looking at various metrics related to equity, to really sort of decide what are our priorities when we're looking at hiring and thinking about it. And then we'll share that out with the larger campus community. And then faculty or deans or department chairs, anyone involved will really be able to put forward over a month. They'll have a chance to put together an application that'll really be both looking at the data, but also, again, looking at the larger kind of goals of the department, looking at questions of how, certain disciplines have a much easier time than others, even finding part-time faculty to fill classes, right? We have lots of areas of campus where we could actually offer more sections if we had more faculty to teach those sections. And also it's very important that we are creating opportunities for part-time faculty to step into full-time roles and to be honored in that way and their work rewarded. And also just that we can really continue to serve students. So we'll be doing that, and then people have a month to put together the applications, and then on November 3rd we'll do this ranking. And then we will present that ranked list to Dr. Butler, and there'll be lots of conversations along the way, and then it'll be coming to you all. So we hired 11 or 12 actually, right, full-time faculty from last year, which is great, right? We have a big, very strong group of new faculty coming in, and we're looking at a large hire again this year. We're so excited about that. Also, just tomorrow, several of us will be going to, there's a graduation ceremony at the medical facility in Vacaville. So that's always a lot of fun. I don't know if any of you have gone to that, but if that would be possible, it's really a really rewarding experience. Obviously not tomorrow because you have to fill out paperwork and wait a month or so, but for next year, so put it on your list. And then also we're having a flex day, right? During the semester, in the middle of the semester, this semester is October 7th, is a day we're not offering classes so that we can really have a chance for professional development for staff and faculty and managers. And one item that the Senate is really working with very closely actually with Dr. Butler's office, right, is we've been talking about looking at our hiring process, both at a faculty level as well as management, and really wanting to ensure that we're really following policy and we're engaging in the spirit of consultation and shared governance. So there's lots of ways we're working together to make sure that we are revising and looking very closely at, for example, a faculty hiring manual. But we've also realized because this is a very important and complicated decision, and a lot of times this is where feelings can get hurt or communication can not be effective, and so there's something where we're trying to take an opportunity to look closely at the hiring process, but using that as a chance to talk about how do we really communicate together. So we're going to be taking an afternoon session on October 7th. That statewide academic senate is going to be coming, a few of them, through their executive board leadership to really facilitate a conversation with management as well as academic senators and other members of the public who are interested, where we can really talk about some of these principles and concepts so that we can really work together more effectively. And so that's pretty exciting to think about as we're moving into further deeper into the fall semester. And that concludes my update.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Oh, yes, Trustee Kara.
So about the 11 to 12 full-time faculty that we've hired,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know about that, but I know that in past board meetings, we've heard that it's been very difficult to get access to not employees, but people that represent a little bit of our student body, so that we are doing a better job at being more representative of who we are
Correct.
helping.
Right.
And we were told that it was not very good, the whole response that we got, but also that the chancellor's office didn't help us very much. All I'm trying to say is that is that something at the forefront of everything we do that we're trying to do? Sometimes people just say stuff and then it isn't as focused as it should be. How are we doing with making sure that our faculty and staff are representing our student body and our community?
Right. Yeah, I can definitely say that as a community, I think this is a place we're really united as faculty, administrators, the larger camp. I think this is a priority for lots of. I think you're right. That's something about the latest process of publicizing the positions, right, through the chancellor's office. Some of that system was actually down during a really crucial period of time, and we were not informed of that. And that is very frustrating, and we did not know that at the time. And that really impacted our ability to get the word out to the all of the faculty in the state. So a lot of faculty who are the local faculty who know our population well, who have really invested, many of them are not notified as clearly. And this isn't unique to Solano College. This is a problem that was statewide. So that is one piece. But as far as us trying to talk about how to do this and do this well, this is something, Sal Abadi's not here, but yeah, Sal and I have been kind of working on this as we're rethinking even the prioritize, the application process, really wanting to make clear that we, both the co-chairs, the faculty administrative co-chair of the hiring committee, as well as the representatives of HR are looking at this very closely. We do have some real legal constraints, right, of how we go about finding the larger demographic diversity of applicants, but really trying to figure out a way to identify and make sure we're advertising well. Sometimes it can be a difficult question where everyone thinks, oh yeah, we should advertise here, we should advertise there, but like who's actually doing that, who's actually filling that out, or whatever the process is. So this is where we've had a lot of conversations, because I agree, this is something that was frustrating to many people, the relative lack in certain areas of a diverse applicant pools.
So do we tell the student body and the faculty and staff that we're hiring these teachers in this department? I kind of think that really, if there's an existing department that's must know other people in other schools that might be wanting to move or whatever. I mean, are we using a lot of that like low-hanging fruit information? I'm
a personally, an English faculty member, right? We hired in the last round. I think a lot of us, put the word out in our local networks through our certain, grad programs. I think we all have a real interest in, lots of qualified candidates applying. So yeah, we do locally whenever we have a hire, not just a faculty, but anyone. Again, HR puts out an email to the entire campus community saying these hires are happening. And then I think, the faculty in that area certainly know about it, and there's an interest in sharing it. The bigger thing that we're trying to figure out is there are certain groups that we can use to help amplify voices. And that's where we want to make sure we're doing this. And some of it is looking at faculty who are in the state of California, but we also want to make sure and realize that that we want to make sure we're advertising strategically nationally as well. And we even had conversations about how to make sure we're being competitive and fair to candidates outside. And these are conversations we've been having about even looking at travel fees, right? There's lots of ways we can go to really make sure we're doing everything we can to say yes to candidates to come here. Yeah.
I've never seen any of those emails you speak of, so I'd love to be on the mailing list on that too. And finally, in terms of, oh, now I've forgotten it. So, okay, that's the end of that one. Okay. So it was the best question.
You don't save the best question for last. You get it out fast.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trustee Anne Marie.
Since our focus at Solano College is student success,
yes,
is there a questionnaire that is given that we can give to graduating seniors, graduates of Solano College, to find out if they contribute to their success at Solano College, where their needs been met?
Surveying our graduates after they've gone, right, to see how well we've met their needs.
Yeah, those who are graduating, and those, of course, been out for a year or two. Send the questionnaire. If they find out why they're here, if they'd be willing to participate and give us feedback.
I'm going to actually turn to that.
Because my daughter did her associate degree here, and she transferred to UC Davis.
Right.
And I asked her one question. That's all I need an answer to. Was she prepared for the courses at Davis when she transferred as a junior? She said yes.
Yeah.
Solano did an excellent job. She said some students who had a prerequisite course at Davis was not successful in their class, and some who transferred for other institutions, but Solano prepared her for her major course at Davis when she transferred.
Right.
Those types of questions, we know whether or not we meet the needs of the students.
I know we've done.
All of us are sitting here because we're interested in student success.
Right. Absolutely. I know we've done
Some of you are here because you came to Solano College. You've been successful.
Correct.
I'm not going to call any names tonight.
Please do. Please do.
He's smiling.
I'm going to turn to Dr. or Lisa Neely.
Thank you for that. So it sounds like we're doing something well because of what your daughter said. But I think on a serious tip, that's one of the things we're actually talking about as our research dean, Dr. Nathan Rexford. We're sort of looking at some capacity around a more regular cycle of how we interview students. And I think one of the pieces that we know we've not been as robust around is how we make sure that we're tracking students, doing a better job of tracking them. Obviously, the statewide data tracks them, and we have a lot of things that come back and allow us to understand, how many students go into careers, et cetera. But I think really getting their kind of qualitative experience. So we're looking at some of those ways through building a more robust kind of alumni presence and process to really make sure that we're able to track students and really get their feedback, as you said, find out what's working. And one of the things we've also talked about is our I Am Solano campaign, which is another opportunity to kind of have those success stories. In fact, we had a really successful transfer fair 2 days ago, yesterday. What day is it? But it was lovely because two of the reps that I bumped into were Solano grads. One is now working in admissions at UC Berkeley and the other one at UC Davis. So I think we want to make sure that we're really understanding the journey that they take, what their experience was like here, and how that can help inform how we better serve students. So absolutely 100% yes. And that's one of the things we're actively talking about now that our research office is fully staffed and they can really help us with the right instruments and tools to do that.
Okay, thank you.
So what I was hoping you could help me with, I'm not tech savvy, and I have had a really hard time navigating our website. So I'm just asking you, do we advertise jobs on our website? We do. Okay, good. Okay, very good. Okay, and maybe one day we can have a workshop on our website. I know you're looking at me
Just for the
like,
record,
are you crazy?
Technology Services does not maintain our website. That's Department of Communications, yeah.
Okay.
So specifically, there's a link off to the school jobs site that specializes in where people will apply and lists all the applications there. I'm sorry, all the opportunities there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate question and concern, right? That sometimes we realize we have not advertised appropriately. That's certainly been true. And I think we're really, trying to figure out how do we do that so we are getting, really qualified candidates.
And are we trying to actively move our part-timers? Because we have, as a state, a real problem with the legalities of that and the lawsuits. Are we trying to also incorporate them into full-time positions?
We are. So we have a contract that which, many schools don't, right? But we have a contract which does honor and make sure that part-timers are well represented in any applicant pool. And secondly, I think we have some evidence here. We actually, at the majority of our full-timers of applicants this time, or successful candidates, were current part-time, right?
Yeah.
What was the number?
6 of the 12 new hires
Nice.
were part-timers with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And why not 12? Was it because
We
they
had,
had
because
better
the other
jobs?
6 were outstanding candidates, and we wanted them also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we will move on to Superintendent President Dr. Kelly Butler.
Thank you. I have the college governance update. Really, just a general update that we've met twice, August 27th and September 10th. The focus in both meetings has been on updating district policy and procedures, particularly in areas of technology and student services. For the my SP update, I just wanted to circle back to a couple of things that were already shared because they were really great events. The September 8th was the Falcon Fest, the club day that Angelica shared. It was really an outstanding event. We had so many students participating. VP Neely even shared that there was a dance troupe that was kind of like an ad hoc dance took place, but the students really enjoyed coming together and celebrating together. And I heard from one of our classified staff that a Dungeons and Dragons club was started and met that day. So it was really a productive time for students to really find belonging. They found their people. So I wanted to celebrate that. The also wanted to Gabby has left, but Dr. Ballesteros is the new student development and engagement lead, and she has already really had a really profound impact on the student engagement and the programming. This Monday was the first day of the Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, and we started out the week with I may mispronounce, but I'm going to say it, the Somos, which is a celebration of us, and she intentionally shared that the students got together and wanted to make sure that everyone felt that they were a part of the celebration, so all backgrounds, all countries, and kicked off Bienvenida with burritos on the quad. And so it was a lot of students who showed up outside 1400. I think the line was long the whole time. So it would, but everybody had a great time. Students, faculty, staff who joined in the festivities, and it was a well celebrated. So that was a really fun time. And then the transfer day, I was also able to go over. Transfer day was a huge success with lots of students going through, a great number of schools, private and public, with UC, CSUs also present. And it was good to talk to our alumni who were representing some of the schools and encouraging our current students to go talk to our alumni about their experiences. So it was a good time. The other items on my update, we re-engaged with the campus community for our President's Advisory Committee for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, including accessibility and belonging. And we had a great kickoff last Friday. Our intention this year is really to do equity in action. So looking at how we can do exactly those things that Trustee Kara was engaging about, like, and Trustee Young, student success and faculty hiring with an equity lens. And so this committee is really a great asset of Solano Community College, because this group is basically the group that recommends initiatives and efforts for the superintendent president. And we were able to hear from VP Neely to share some of the accomplishments that were made under Dr. Esposito Noy. And so we're hoping to continue in that vein to really move the needle in having student success and changing just the environment of our college. So that was a huge success. Also, another win for our college, Solano Athletics is the 24-25 recipient of the Bay Valley Conference Shirley Baskin Commissioner's Cup Award. The purpose of the Commissioner's Cup Award is to recognize members for their athletic and academic excellence, so we're really excited for that. Last year, we were very close, and we didn't win, and this year we were very close, but we did. So it's really exciting. Last but not least, today, I was also able to join the Yochadihi Wintu Nation celebration of 25 years in philanthropy. We received a $100,000 gift from them. There was an article about this and everything, but it was really nice to just be in community with other organizations, educational institutions who had received gifts from the Yochadihi Wintu Nation, and this gift was given to us, and I wrote it down so I would try to pronounce it, but it's a Doyoti Tacoma arm of the tribe, because they have a community foundation, and then this new arm, and this Doyuti Tacoma means to give an acorn. So I have an acorn necklace that they gave out to all of us today. But it was really touching to hear the story, because other tribal nations were represented and received awards, and they talked about the acorn being a central theme throughout California, as kind of you give an acorn, plant a seed, and watch it grow. And so just to see the I think 25 million is what they have given out of this one particular arm, and then over 50 million in the community fund. And so it was really a great event, but also to celebrate the gifts that they have shared with us. So that concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Great report. Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Trustee.
Did you say $100,000 that
Yes.
was gifted to Solano Community College?
Yes.
What is that money is earmarked for, if I may
For
ask?
students specifically. They gave money specifically this last time for Vallejo students. And so we gave out half of it last year at the scholarship event, and we have been giving money continuously since then. And so we will also have recipients who will be participating in this October's event, the scholarship fund event, through the foundation.
Is that something where trustees may attend? the
Yes,
event?
you will be. I just added it to my
Okay,
update. You
fantastic.
will receive
Awesome.
an invitation.
Thank
We
you.
encourage you to come. It's really a great event because really the goal of the foundation is any student who applies, we want to try to make sure they receive some funding. And so we last year, I believe about $68,000 was given out just at that event. And then the foundation also gave, and I don't have the number, but continue to give because we had this gift. So continue to give funds to students as they applied, even though they didn't meet the previous deadline.
May I ask a follow question? I apologize.
Yes.
So the money is earmarked for Vallejo students, but is there an opportunity in the future for Vacaville students or for Dixon or Winter students?
So there are other funds that are through the foundation specifically for Vacaville, specifically for Benicia students. And so that's why I say any student who applies, there are funds where we are able to meet the need. And so the goal is that anyone who applies, we really want to try to make the barrier low to receive funds. It's not, the goal is students who have need. We do have another scholarship foundation that offers merit scholarships. So in combination with the merit and the need base, we try to make sure any student who applies gets funding.
Thank you so much, President Butler, for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Do we have an idea of how the enrollment in Vallejo has gone up or down? I drive by it every time I have to come up here. And it looked like tonight there were a lot more cars in the parking lot.
So we recently asked the question. I asked VP Williams. I don't think we had numbers yet, but it was a question that we were interested in.
Yeah, so far this year, our summer and fall enrollment is higher at the Vallejo Center than the previous 2 years, so we're on track. Some of that enrollment is from prison and online courses, but we also know that the foot traffic in the center itself seems to be higher as well.
All right, that's great, because Mr. Thurston would be very happy with that.
Thank you so much.
We see him every time we walk in.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. So we're going to move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed. Time will be provided before the vote for clarification questions without removing an item from the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I second that motion. Thank you.
I was going to address you about the rules of order, but she's mentioned. I was going to move it to the side to Madam President to get your attention, but since she moved, I'll second it.
Okay, well, thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oppose? Abstain? Motion was passed. Items removed from, there were no items removed from the consent agenda. We will now turn to the non-consent agenda items. First, we have Finance and Administration with VP Susan Wheat.
Yes, thank you. The first item for Finance and Administration is the contract award for Salas O'Brien for the Hydronic System Modernization Project. Salas O'Brien actually did the study previously that was sent out to all board members on what repairs needed to be done. This is the next step in that, where we're asking the board to approve the contract with them for the architectural and engineering services for the phase 1 of this project. This includes items such as the design documents, the sequencing, the cost estimating, helping get the DSA approvals, bidding assistance, and inspections through the project. So we're asking the board to approve this.
Do I have a
I'll make the motion and then I have one discussion item once it's been seconded.
I'll second the motion.
All right, well, the motion has been moved and seconded. Trustee Quinton?
Thanks. I just wanted to share, so far we've seen a few change orders to existing projects that not a question, it's an add-on from subcommittee. We've seen some change orders to existing products that have been affected by this project, but this is the first that's like actually the project to repair and replace. So this is like not just another project we had running. This is like now a new project to address the big issue.
The change order is a lot of the change orders that we've seen come through are for the emergency repairs that we've been finding as we do this. This is for the actual forecasting of not having those emergency repairs and emergency services, but actually fixing it before we have a problem.
Trustee Carroll?
And we have budget for actual city double checking everything to make sure we're in compliance and we are going to not have a problem again.
I can't guarantee that we won't have a problem
next
20
30
years
years.
from now, but we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that that doesn't happen. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
You said you guarantee?
I think it's on record that I said no,
But you'll try.
but we'll try. Yes.
She'll
always.
try hard and she will win. I've decided.
All right, so all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes, or passed. The next item is 13B, also presented by VP Wheat and contract award for, how do you pronounce this? Arthula?
Arthulia?
Inc. Welding Lab Electrical Improvement Projects.
Yes, thank you again. This is for electrical improvements to our welding program to enhance the program and the student experience. So we're asking for you to approve this.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve
Who seconds the motion?
13B.
I second it.
All right, it was moved and seconded. Motion passed. Is there any, I hit. This is very confusing when you have to see highlighted, not highlighted. Okay. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion passed. All right, the next item is 13C, is the Student Services item presented by VP Lisa Neely.
Hi, good
Hi.
evening. Thank you, Vice President Cargo Reed and members of the board. So this is that time of year. So we have a resolution proclaiming September 15th through October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in celebration with the national celebration. And so we have a resolution outlining that proclamation. Asking for the board approval, please.
I'll make the motion to approve, but with the standing request that our VP Neely reads for the record our resolution.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, we have a second.
Okay. Whereas the Solano Community College District Governing Board honors the heritage of Hispanic Latine Americans and acknowledges their many contributions to our nation. Whereas the 2025 National Hispanic Heritage Month theme is Collective Heritage, honoring the past, inspiring the future. Whereas observance of Hispanic Heritage Month was enacted on August 17th, 1988, with the passage of Public Law 100-402. Whereas the contributions made by Hispanic Latine Americans to our society should be visible and widely celebrated as an integral part of American culture. Whereas the history of Hispanic Latine Americans' cultures and influence spans centuries with vibrant cultural traditions, languages, and values that have enriched our shared national identity, exemplified through their achievements in business, education, science, the arts, government, military service, and beyond. Whereas Hispanic Latine Americans make up over 27.5% of Solano County's adult population and 33% of Solano Community College District's full-time student population. Whereas Hispanic Latinx leaders and communities have played pivotal roles in movements for civil rights, labor rights, educational equity, and social justice, including the farm worker movement led by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, the educational equity case championed by Sylvia Mendez and her family, and the labor and political leadership of Maria Elena Durazo in California. Whereas Hispanic Latinx heritage is rooted in intersectional histories that weave together indigenous, African, European, and Asian ancestries, reflecting the complexity and diversity of Latin America and its diasporas, including the diverse LGBTQIA plus community as exemplified by leaders such as writer Gloria Anzaldúa, activist Sylvia Rivera, U.S. Poet Laureate Juan Felipe Herrera, and others who have amplified underrepresented voices. Whereas Hispanic Latinx Americans have been integral to shaping U.S. democracy, holding elected office at local, state, and national levels, and amplifying the voices of their communities in civic life, including the historic leadership of Justice Sonia Sotomayor, Secretary Hilda Solis, and Senator Alex Padilla. Therefore, be it resolved that Solano Community College District Governing Board proclaims September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you. So do I have a motion to vote, please?
We have a motion. I need to call the roll.
Roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Let's see. Trustee Kara?
Aye.
Trustee Wynn Greer?
Aye.
Trustee Thurston?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Trustee Boyce?
Aye.
Trustee Cargo Reed?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for reading that. Very well done. It's not as easy, and you make it look so flawless, so thank you.
My
I
pleasure.
do have a comment, if I may.
I'm sure,
Yes, thank
Trustee Jackie.
Senator Durazo name was mentioned here. I was wondering if we have reached out to her office to let her know that she's part of our Hispanic Heritage Month resolution, considering she represents the LA region area.
That's a good question. I think we could check and see, but I think that's a lovely suggestion.
Just a
Happy to
thought.
follow
Thank
up
you
and
so
I
much.
can,
Yeah.
I can
No,
let
I
Dr.
think
Butler
it's-
know.
I think it's great to, represent other elected officials. As we know, we have Senator Cabaldon and Assemblywoman Lori Wilson, and then Assemblywoman Cecilia Aguiar Carey in our area. So I was just kind of curious that we have highlighted Senator Durazo. She is a champion of immigrants and civil rights. So I do agree she belongs in this resolution, but I was just kind of curious since she's out of this area.
I think the idea was to try, I mean, it's hard because obviously there's so many folks that we want to recognize, so trying to be mindful of the limitations of a resolution, but to kind of give a flavor for the kinds of folks that have had those voices and have been those leaders. But yeah, it's always a challenge because you think there's so many fantastic folks that we should be recognizing, but a point absolutely well taken.
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve. I was just kind of curious. That's all. If perhaps she's aware that we have recognized her in our resolution here.
Sure, of
Yes.
course.
Thank you so much, Vicky Neely.
Of course.
Thank you, Trustee Carroll.
So I Googled and asked AI, what are the important Solano graduates that were Hispanic? And a name came up. I don't know anything except what this little 5-paragraph blurb I got, and it said, Victoria Favel Diaz is a notable Hispanic graduate of Solano Community College. And she's she launched a Mexican restaurant. She was transferred to San Francisco State University. Beyond her restaurant career, she started a Spanish program at a small elementary school. She served on the board of Solano Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And what I thought maybe, and I know we've got to be limited, but it would really be nice also to include maybe people that worked at Solano or studied at Solano or graduated at Solano and went out and sort of like blossomed because of what they've had here. I don't know. I mean, it would really be nice to celebrate our
The locals.
yeah,
Yeah.
our adults.
Yeah, that's a lovely sentiment, and I look forward to reading a bit more about her. I was not aware of her, but yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good note, and we can take that under advisement because we have several celebrations throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I think that's really,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to move on to the next item is 13D, Child Care Center Partnership Contract for Head Start and Early Head Start Services, also presented by VP Neely.
Yes, thank you. So this is essentially, this is our annual contract with Child Start that provides the funding for 12 babies, essentially sort of 0 to 3 years old, and then 12 older children from the ages of 3 to 5. And it includes the slots for having those 24 students. And then, of course, covers training supplies, all of the other things that go in supporting that in terms of tech assistance and monitoring and support of the grant. And it's a relationship that we've enjoyed for quite a while. So this is our annual renewal, respectfully asking for approval for these important slots as part of our Early Learning Center provision.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve item 13D.
And we have the motion that was approved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Trustee Kara.
Head Start and our program is wonderful. We do such a lovely job, and we have a wonderful facility. We've all acknowledged that. 24 students is really small. And I know in total, we're like, I seem to remember we had like 36 students or something like that in total at the facility. Is that 108? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Child Start.
Okay.
Government funding, but yeah, we also
Have we always, I thought we were always at capacity.
pretty near, I mean,
Yeah.
within a few spaces, so that always is something we want to make sure that we're to our students as well, but we are building and then building that additional capacity, and now we've actually met that, which is great. So we have all of the children in those new spaces enjoying that beautiful new building. I believe we're at 108 right now.
And I don't want to add more to your very, very heavy shoulders, but the more we can increase that, because childcare is really, really important, particularly for, in two families have to work now to actually survive. And having childcare is really, I mean, a friend of mine was a teacher in Davis, and she had childcare in Vallejo, and her teaching salary went to the childcare. That was her contribution to making sure her kids were in childcare.
Yeah.
It was just her full salary.
Yeah.
All she got out of it was health care.
Yeah.
Otherwise. So there's that. And I know that we've done really well for our teachers because your children went. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and my kids had Head Start, and it makes a huge difference. There's nothing, you just can't compare. And the rest of the world allows it and does it for free, and it's very difficult for women in particular.
And I think we're very grateful to have such a wonderful service and have the longevity of the folks that have been with the center in sometimes in excess of 20 years. And then the folks that went through as children that are coming back as specialists. So there's a really wonderful legacy, I think, there. And I think certainly we were very interested and always open to opportunities to grow. But obviously there's also a lot of regulations and requirements and protocols and compliance when it comes to something like early child education. So we're always very ensuring that we're compliant, but also looking for ways to also spread the word. So we're doing some really interesting co-programming with our student equity team to think about ways to kind of create even a larger footprint on campus for folks to really understand the unique learning center that it is, right? Not just for the children, but for the students that are also able to go through and prepare their careers through practicum. So we're doing a little bit more, I think, innovative programming and kind of co-programming with other offices on campus to kind of raise that profile and certainly make certain that any of our students who are even thinking about potentially coming and taking classes understand if they have children in the right age group for us, that is a service that we do provide. So we want to make sure we're really connecting that pipeline.
And it would really be nice if we also had them in our satellite, like in Vallejo.
Yeah.
Where the need is great.
Yes.
And obviously Vacaville too. So that it's really, it's important. I wanted you, if you could, explain to the people that are watching at home, page 59 and what it means. The difference between the Napa County and Solano County. I thought, and also, I thought children with subsidies and children without subsidies. I mean, it makes, it's terrifying to think that if you don't have a subsidy, it's $106 a day. I mean, that really is, just puts it into perspective on how the need is so desperate.
Yeah. Well, we look at, I'm not sure what page you're referring to, but we do, I mean, we look at certainly.
Page 59, Exhibit B.
Oh, I see 59,
child
sorry,
care
excuse me.
centers.
Yeah, I think that's my reading glasses on.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
not putting but it's just that it drives home
Oh,
how
yes, yeah.
desperate the situation is for anybody with kids.
Absolutely, and I think we do a pretty good job of making sure, certainly it's very much need-based. I think that's the really important thing. And I think that's always been part of the flagship of why we provide what we provide. I think also what's interesting is that we're able to work, particularly for any of the parents who are students, to work with them from a financial aid perspective and some of the ability that we have through other funding sources to help really support that student parent, because we have a lot of student parents. This last Welcome Day, which happened right before the semester started, we did a special workshop for student parents to really help them understand what resources are here, what we can provide. In addition to what we provide at the ELC, we also definitely link and work very closely with community agencies because we do appreciate and understand that the child care issue, for lack of a better way to say it, is very challenging. It's very challenging. I think child care is one of the barriers for students, in addition to housing, in addition to transportation, stable technology, access to technology, all of those things. So we're constantly thinking about how to integrate our services and more holistically serve our students in all of their needs.
Thank you, Trustee Jackie Wenger.
Yes, but first and foremost, it all ties into an affordability issue here in the state of California. But first and foremost, I think it's great to hear that, we're at capacity this year, and I do echo in terms of what Trustee Carroll was saying in regards to this program. May I just ask as a follow-up here, 24 slots, how are the students or their families chosen? Or perhaps this is something that's been discussed in the past, and please forgive me and offer some grace.
No, the more times we discuss it, the better. You
Yeah.
go ahead.
No,
Thank you, Trustee Carroll.
Yeah.
So being, a new trustee, this is my first year, could you please share how the students or the families are chosen to fill the 24 slots?
Essentially, it's all need-based. So it's very much looking at a rigorous process where we are really assessing the financial need of the family. And so we have, and when I say also at capacity, I think it's not that we've been under capacity, but we always try to manage a few spaces and slots because we know that students will come mid-year and want to enroll and have a child care need. So we want to make sure that we're able, as much as possible, to have a little bit of flexibility. So I want to just clarify the sort of context around the idea that we're at full capacity, which is always a good thing. And so, yeah, it's need-based, and I can certainly provide to Dr. Butler, if that's helpful, to kind of look at what that kind of checklist is. But I think that's really important in the sense that we know that we don't have enough for everybody, but it certainly makes sure that we know the folks who have the greatest need, documented greatest need, will get that care and will get be one of those, folks in one of the 12 spots, or even some of the other spots that we have funded in other ways.
May I ask a follow-up question, please? Would the slots be also open to faculty and staff, or just for students?
No, we have a range of folks, so it's need-based for anybody from the community. So we've had faculty who've had their children go through the program, we've had student parents, we've had children that have grown up and then come back and taught, and then folks from the community members who may not have necessarily another affiliation with the college. So we really are serving the community in that way as well.
Thank you so much, VP Neely, for explaining that. I truly appreciate that.
One last thing.
Yes,
when we're trying to increase our student base, and trying to sort of compete with all the community colleges that are around, to offer childcare is a real plus. So if we offered it in Vallejo, I mean, I would imagine it's all these little bits that add on to making something possible for a family that is just trying to survive. So if we can keep thinking about how we can make all these extra little bits for people. You know how we offer food and the pantry and stuff like that, but childcare is just,
It's a big one.
And we know education is really the only thing that lifts a family in America. You know? Okay, thank you.
Appreciate the sentiment and the support, obviously, of the ELC and the work that we're doing.
Yes, thank you. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, oppose, abstain. All right, the motion was passed. All right, and for, do we have any information items from the board?
May I just share a
All
couple
right,
things? Yes.
trustee Jackie Wenger.
As a representative for the Solano County School Board Association, we rested this summer for 3 months, and so we just resumed our meeting this past Monday. It was very fruitful. We're looking to do one thing, which is show a film that's going to be sometime this fall. I'd love to share that with the trustees, the governing board, as well as the VPs there as I get more information in regards to it. It has a film that has to do with about reading achievements. And so that will be something I hope that perhaps maybe the community college, I'll have a further discussion with you, Superintendent President Butler, in regards to the participation for Solano Community College. So thank you so much. And
thank you, Jackie. Trustee Kara?
Well, I'm using my little 2 minutes to ask for a favor.
Excuse me.
And I'm going to do it from now on. What I'd like to do is today explain that I usually go before our meetings to the board, our board page on our website and look at our minutes and our past minutes and and I was totally lost. It is a new website page. It is a lot more detailed, and there's a lot more to look for. So my response was, gosh, you know, if I have a vested interest in learning how to navigate this web page, but I wonder if somebody else who doesn't have a vested interest actually will continue. So what I'm going to ask for is, if possible, we could have a sort of a teaching moment where we are taught how to navigate our website. Because maybe I'm too old for modern day America, but I promise you there's a lot of people out there that also have a hard time navigating websites. And it's not like I can call up Solano and get somebody that will help me with it, because we all know, even calling up Napa, I mean, I'm not just saying this is our problem, but the world doesn't answer phones anymore. So what I'm saying is, could we have a website and some class or something?
Trustee
I didn't want to say that because I'm really trying to become a nicer person.
But just say it, if that's what it is.
It is.
Because if you put in the search word in the search bar, does it pop up what you're looking for? It didn't pop up?
No. I think it's
a different website, so we can provide some training.
Right. It's not like the standard one that you normally put in search and shows up.
Have we talked to our students? Are they responding to the new website? Are they saying, wow, this is terrific? I'm sorry. I really am not being confrontational. All I'm saying is please, websites are so important nowadays.
The only website change is the board site. So
that's recently. That's just been done recently.
Yes. Okay. So that's the only.
Not the whole website.
We haven't had student engagement really on the website.
It's just our portion. I got it.
Yeah.
Hard of hearing, but maybe I am. Or did she say again?
We were just the new website for the board agenda.
Okay.
So wanting some training around it.
Okay.
But the website in general, I think it's, I would question whether our website is as user-friendly as it could be, but I may be wrong. So I'd like you to smack me into place. And
Like
prove
step
me
one,
wrong.
step two, step three.
I'll look at it and see
There
if
is
you're right.
there is a reworking of the website that is occurring.
Somebody's got to. Someone over there.
She talks.
There is a new website that will launch that will focus more on the external facing portion of the website. If you're referring to the welcome.solano.edu website, and so that will be shared with you in the next week.
Wonderful, thank you.
I know my colleague is saying right now, well, he's not in charge of it. Leave him alone. And I'm sorry, but I'll tell you what, I lump you all together. You are my computer guy. I'm sorry you're stuck with it. It's like, it is what it is.
All right, thank you so much. And Jackie, Trustee Jackie Wang-Greer.
Just one final thing. I just want to say, I give a shout out to the students from ANAPI, the Student Achievement Program. Thank you for this beautiful card. It brings joy to hear feedback, to get feedback from the students in regards to whether or not I'm making a difference. I was kind of been questioning that over the past few months, but this really heartened me in terms of knowing that little by little I'm carving away and I'm working on making our students' lives better, and I hope you all agree. So I just want to say a big shout out to the ANAPI Student Achievement Program. Thank you so much for this beautiful card. It made my evening.
Thank you. And do we have any announcements? I actually do. Trustee Quinton, you have an announcement? Oh, okay. All right, I actually have an announcement. So in Vacaville on Friday, September 19th, they're holding the Prisoners of War and Missing in Action, where they hang the flags and they show honor. It's an observation day. They're doing it across the nation, of course, and it's a symbol of remembrance where they're going to raise the POW flag, and they're going to be meeting at 10 a.m., 650 Merchant Street. I hope that address is correct because that's what was in the paper. So if it's not, you'll see them. They'll be there in Vacaville on Friday on 650 Merchant Street to just honor the families and observe Prisoners of War Missing in Action Day. Also wanted to make mention, we did have 9/11 just pass last week, and there was a lot going on in our nation during that time. So I just want to make sure that I made a mention that we remember 9/11, 2001. It was a day that we lost over 2,977 individuals, and far more than that now because of health issues as a complication of being in the vicinity during that time. So, I think that's all for my announcements for now, and I hope to see you on Friday. Thank you. All right, and Trustee Jackie Wang-Greer.
I don't have anything else.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. All right, items from the board?
Sure. Actually, thank you, VP. You reminded me because we didn't connect. We last year for the first time we connected to pass a resolution so that we could fly the POW flag on campus during this day, and it slipped by us this year. I was wondering if there would be, so our formal policy says we passed a resolution to allow the campus to fly commemorative flags. I wonder if there would be any objection if we give verbal instruction that the superintendent may, and we'll bring a resolution to the next meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Lovely idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
That way we have like, okay, great. So we'll throw that resolution on the next meeting, maybe kind of slightly out of wiggle room, retroactively. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Trustee Quinn.
I know, I'll add it to my calendar.
Just put it on the calendar. Really, they just have it on the calendar.
I'm putting on my weekend to do right now.
All right. We had no items from the board. Okay.
Every year.
Thank you. It's time to adjourn. Do I have a motion
That's all.
to adjourn this meeting?
I make a
No.
What was that? I'll move that we
Let's skip
adjourn.
I second the motion. Don't forget, that's all.
So moved by Trustee Anne Marie and seconded by Trustee Rosemary Thurston. All right.
Civility reigns.
This meeting has been adjourned at 8:15 p.m. on September 17, 2025. Thank you so much. Motion was approved. Have a good night, everybody.